To be honest, I think I got to go back even further if you want the full story.
Yeah, yeah. Give us the. How about you give us the story from the noodle shop?
Oh, for the dude, I bet. All right, so
I
basically,
mean, how far back are you trying to go?
I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, listen, we can go back fucking 6 years with future, but we'll start at the noodle shop. Basically, Forehead calls me down to the restaurant, calls me, hey, there are people at the restaurant who aren't wearing uniform. And then I tell him on the phone, listen, I know that there are people not wearing uniform. If I go down there and they don't want to put on uniform, I'm going to send them off duty. I asked him if he's sure if he wants me to come down. Bro says yes. I go down to the restaurant. I take out my fucking clipboard. I'm real nice to Future, real sweet. Hey, listen, we need you to put on the uniform, place of business, blah, blah, blah. Bro has to puff out his chest because Daisy is there. No, I'm not putting on the uniform. Like, okay, well, you know what? You're not working then. I'm not gonna take shit from
Hold on,
Future.
was he the only one not wearing a
No, there was it was him and Daisy not wearing a uniform, but the other employees who were actually clocked in were wearing uniform.
Okay. So why didn't you tell Daisy?
I did tell Daisy. I told them everybody who's not wearing a uniform needs to go and put on a uniform if they want to continue to work.
And he was the only one that made a fuss about it.
He was the only one who made a fuss about it. Daisy was like, okay, I'm just gonna put everything in the fridge. He was ready to go, and then Future had to puff his chest out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna send you off duty. I'm gonna do exactly what Forehead knows that I'm gonna do. He says, oh no, you're not gonna do that, blah blah blah, you can't stop me, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, fine. I told Mike, listen, if this guy wants to stand here, there's nothing you could do about it. It is what it is. But do not under any circumstances rehire Future. So I go to the back, I pull him off the books. Bro comes in fucking foaming at the mouth, screaming, yelling. You know how Future gets. I'm like, all right, but I'm gonna match this energy and I'm gonna put him in his place. And you know how Future is. Future don't like it when people step up to him. He screams, he cries. I say, 15 different things to this guy, and the one thing that everybody harped on was the fact that he took money from the restaurant, and I called him out on it. Story goes, next day, I guess Future had his little chat with Dada. I got a chat with Forehead. Forehead's like, listen, Kevin, you can't be saying this, gang members stealing money, blah, blah, blah. I says, all right, look at the spreadsheet. I give Forehead the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet tracks all the transactions. Sorry, the spreadsheet tracks the money that's in the actual business day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour in some cases, right? So we know exactly how much was generated. We know the expenses that me and Mike paid. The missing piece of the puzzle is how much Future gave to Forehead, right? And because this is like the weak link, right? Whether or not Forehead can remember how much money was given to him, like there was no way that was going to happen. This is why the 2 or 3 weeks that we were tracking this, we just never made an issue out of it, right?
So it was a product of human error.
Listen, I already
case.
said this. I think what happened is, I don't think Future's stealing from the shop purposely.
He made excuses for him.
I think he's bad with money.
You're making
Now,
an excuse for
him.
him.
The money was. I'm not making an excuse.
That's an excuse.
Because he gave me. That's not an excuse. He gave me money that was never written down on the spreadsheet.
All right, listen. The last week, right? The last week that he owned the business, there's $200,000 that is unaccounted for. He gave me $130,000 that he said was all the business made that week. So unless you had $200,000, I didn't get the $200,000. So the only place that could be is with Future. Or he paid people.
I don't know.
Or he paid
if
people.
I got that $200,000 or not.
All right, exactly.
He gave me money maybe 4 or 5 times, and it was a decent amount every time.
I'm just talking about the last week. The last week where he got demoted to hang around and he gave me the business.
I guess the thing is, if there are outstanding variables as to why this could be the case, then putting the blame on him doesn't seem like the natural thing to do. Even though it is likely that he did do it. If you can't be 100% sure, you're not 100% sure, right?
I'm 100% sure. The business was $500,000 in debt.
Another variable which is Forehead. No?
I mean, look, the business owed $500,000 between what was owed for vegetables and what was owed to staff pay, right? Future didn't pay anybody except Daisy that entire time he owned that business. Maybe he paid some people here and there, but at the end of it, we had to clear $500,000 before we started turning profit.
When was this? How many weeks ago?
This was during the transfer. The first week that we made money, the gang didn't. The first week that Mike and I ran the business. Yeah, exactly. So when Mike and I were running the business, that first week we had to pay off all the debt. That's why the gang didn't make any money. The very next week we set a record. We made like fucking $700K in 7 days, and the gang got paid out $250K.
I know for a fact that Future has paid like at least 4 or 5 people on a recurring basis, at least for the weeks that I was around.
There were like 30. Yeah, there were like 30 people in and out of the restaurant in that time. There was somebody who was owed 30K, and every time he woke up, he would call me, Mike, and Future to try and get paid, and he never got paid, and he no longer works for us.
Okay.
And every time does Goober all day, and he goes to every other business except ours. All this guy did while he owned that business was make money for himself, use that money to go buy more money, right? This is the out, by the way. He's using the money to buy other people's money and then giving you guys whatever he feels like is going to let him float under the radar.
Yeah, but
that's what he
you're
did.
Assuming that though. You're assuming that though.
Okay, so I'm not gonna die on this hill. All right, Forehead, I'm assuming it.
That's what. Listen. Is there 100% proof for this? Because if there isn't, then you're assuming it. It's just that simple.
About him taking the money to buy more money? I'm not his accountant. I don't have access to his bank records, but
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably likely that you're right, but there are inconsistencies, right? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I listen. I never press this point with anybody because I know that the only way to press this point is to have every single transaction, exactly, which I don't have, which is why I didn't bring it up. The only time this came up was in a private conversation that other people happened to overhear with me in Future.
Okay. So you never brought this up outside of that?
No, I never brought this up outside of that. Bro, I
How did people overhear it?
I had Poe asking me about how much the business made and blah blah blah, and I never pressed this issue because I knew, like I said, don't have all the numbers.
How did people overhear it?
What do you mean? All these people weren't getting paid, and Future was buying Daisy a house.
You said that they overheard that conversation, no?
Wait, overheard which conversation?
About the money, no? Or am I tripping? Is that not what you said?
No. So me and Future were having a conversation after I fired him, and that's what Forehead and I guess everyone else overheard.
Okay, how did they overhear it? Were you standing next to or whatever?
I don't know. How did you overhear the conversation, Forehead?
Talking about the one you guys were arguing inside the fucking office?
Yeah.
We were outside the office.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, you guys were outside the office?
Outside the door, yeah.
Oh, with the big brick walls?
No, the tiny wooden door, actually.
That's reinforced with steel.
It's not. You want to go look at the door? 'Cause it's not reinforced.
We're talking about different doors, or the door behind at the back of the plaza.
The little tiny wooden door. When the Future screams, have you ever heard Future scream? I'm pretty sure I could go through a concrete wall that scream. You know what I mean?
The wail of the banshee.
The wail of a paid piggy.
Of the south side. Okay, continue
that. Oh yeah, so the next day, I have this conversation with Forehead, and like, not to throw you under the bus, big dog, but this situation is like a product of me doing what you wanted me to do. You wanted me,
listen,
and you knew the consequences.
I'm not gonna sit there and not take blame for this.
Okay, right? Okay.
I agree. Like, yes, it was me. You know what I'm saying? I tried to fuck around with Future. You know, it's like, yo, he's not with a uniform. You know, Kevin comes down there, tells him off. I didn't think it was going to go into this. So I will take blame.
Future is very sensitive. Future is the most sensitive gang member.
I will take the blame where I need to take the blame. I don't mind.
Okay. No, fantastic. I'm glad we're on the same page with this. Because listen, at the end of the day, I know how this guy is. He catches like the slightest grievance with somebody, and he runs a marketing campaign for the entire time.
This is whatever. What I want the factual details of what happened. Continue.
All right, I have this conversation with Forehead, and then it drops, basically. Like, Future's not really in my lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing what I'm doing, and he's doing what he's doing. I don't see him for like a week. And then, I want to say 2 days ago, somebody tweets out, "Die Kevin," or some shit like that. Like, Larry tweets it out, and then Future's retweeting it, like, unironically. And then, something else happens, and he just retweets it like multiple times. I'm like, okay, I got you. So yesterday, I'm doing a business deal with the Manor. These guys are like, they buy shit from us, and they were in the plaza. At some point, he's like, I guess talking to James or texting James, trying to like stir, whatever, and I think he says something about like Hydra smoked you guys and we're gonna smoke you again or some shit like that. He was like inciting with the Manor, and then me and James go way back. I'm like on pretty good standing with that group of people. These guys are like some of my better customers. I probably made over $1 million just selling ingredients to them alone. And then somehow or another it gets to like I tell James about the Daisy House shit after Future gets pressed about me like retweeting. It was like a picture of SpongeBob, and the SpongeBob picture is like plus money or some shit like that. In context, it had something to do with I don't remember.
Wait, say that again. The SpongeBob.
It was like a
That's what
SpongeBob.
you guys beefing over SpongeBob.
This guy, I'm telling you, Future is sensitive as fuck.
God, bro.
Wait, what you wrote? I'm sorry, I keep disassociating because this is so silly. Like I don't know what you even said. You texted a picture of SpongeBob.
I didn't text anything. I was literally in the parking lot with these guys, right? We're doing this business now. Somebody tweets out a picture of SpongeBob saying something about money plus 200 or plus $500,000 or some shit like that.
Was it the manor?
It was the manor. I can't remember who it
Right,
was.
so that's like whenever they stole 200K from Future.
Yeah. So I retweet the picture of SpongeBob, right? No other context. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, the day before was tweeting Kevin die, like unironically.
How do they know that?
How do they know what?
The money thing.
Is that the one that took it?
I have very sparse details about the money.
Yeah, because it was the other way around, right? Like they denied that they did it. Wasn't that the thing? Or
Oh yeah. So when it happened, like they denied it, but like Future was 100% sure it was them because they were the only ones there when the money went
I
missing.
thought it was the other way around. Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, I tweet that picture out, and then we say something to James. Asked me something. I'm like, yeah, this guy bought like a house for a Daisy or some shit like that. And then, like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, like 5 minutes later, Future pulls up like fucking pressed, walks into the farm, and then I'm like, okay, now you're locked in here. And then he starts yapping about, oh, did you tell the man of this? Did you tell the man of this? And I said, yeah, I was, I was being honest about some shit or something like that. And then he goes to the door and says, all right, can you let me out? And I'm like, sure. Then he just leaves. And then at this point, Future's pressed, and I'm poking him a little bit because I'm gonna be honest, like I don't fuck with Future like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's tweeting Kevin die, he wants to press me in my business. Bro's hang around, acting out of turn, whatever. I'm like, all right, hang around's acting crazy is what I tweet out. And then for some reason, Flippy decides to like inject himself into the conversation, and then I just spend like the next 30 minutes just fucking hoeing them on Twitter, and they were so pressed about it that their immediate instinct was, Kevin, I'm gonna shoot you, blah blah blah. And then Future starts retweeting that, and that's when I knew that, like, okay, well, Future's doing what Future does, right? He'll do like the little conniving Weasley little bitch made things, and then when somebody responds to it, he tries to play the victim, and that's where we're at basically.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is crazy work. You know what I mean?
I mean, this is the cycle over and over with Future. Like, I don't know what you expect. It's just my turn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, but yeah, you're right. But there's also like there's two players in a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think you guys just don't like each other, and it's like that. And there's people I don't like, but I just don't pay mind to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like I said, when I'm in my lane, I don't even think about, like, I forget Future exists as a person in the city until somebody brings him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Future has no presence in my mind.
But when he retweeted "Kill Kevin," why didn't you just bring that to like Forehead or someone else that's around and be like, "Yo, I don't want him to be doing this shit." If
instead we got this, you know what I mean?
Okay, so somehow, right, he tweets "Kill Kevin," but me not like bringing it to the table to talk about it because it was pretty low on the list of priorities is like it's like an issue for me. Like,
I mean, you say that
of all the things,
what it turns into, right? It builds up to this.
I mean, but when you explained that, you said he retweeted "Kill Kevin," and then you said, "Oh, okay, so it's like that then. Okay, I see how it is," and then that led to you reciprocating it. That's what you said. So at that point, I feel like you should have just kind of stopped yourself and been like, okay, I don't like that he's doing this. It's obviously bothering me. I'm gonna talk to someone about this. So
okay. I see what you're saying. All right, well, here's the thing, right? I don't actually think that there are any consequences for Future. I think Future could shoot Poe and get away with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think Future could do whatever he wants in this gang, and nobody is gonna give a fuck. That's why I think that is my opinion based on the way that I've seen Forehead handle that situation. Now, whether or not you and Ming will deal with it differently is a different thing. But to this point, like, I only saw you one day in the entire time that this whole future thing has been happening. I had no idea if you were actually going to come around to deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. What do you think an appropriate action is to something like that? To a gang member reporting something like that? Like, what do you think should happen? How would you deal with something like that if you were in charge?
All right, listen. I don't even look at Future as a member of the gang. I see him as a hanger-on
No,
because
that's not what I'm asking. That's not what I'm asking.
what do
I
I
need
think
you
an
to answer the
appropriate?
question.
What do I think appropriate punishment would be?
Yeah.
If I was the leader of a gang, I wouldn't give a fuck about the tweeting, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, but Future, the problem isn't the tweeting. The problem is the pattern. The tweeting is just like a symptom of the bigger sickness that is Future Hendrix.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Kevin. Like, I can't really argue with it because I think you display logic. I think what you're saying makes sense. But I also think that there is, like I said, there's two players in a game. And if I were involved in this, I would think the same as you, but I wouldn't let it get to this point myself because I wouldn't partake.
I think you're coming at it from a perspective with more power in the situation than I have. Because at the end of the day, if you say
how I would interact with anyone, like if it was another gang leader doing this shit, I would just block them on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I would do it.
I used to be that way. I used to be that way.
What made you think it was a good idea to, I get that you have fucking beef with Future, whatever the fuck, but what made you think it's a good idea to tell Manor about his shit? To give them fuel to fucking go at him? Like, what was going through your head?
Everybody knew about that shit.
They clearly didn't know about it, did they?
James specifically didn't know about it. The rest of them maybe didn't know about it, or maybe they didn't talk about it.
But why? But like, listen. It's one thing to like joke around with people, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But like, you know damn well, you know the context behind it. You fucking retweeted the picture with 200K. You know the history that Future has with them.
I don't know. I don't know the
stealing
history.
money.
I don't know the history.
But you do because you retweeted the 200K picture with no context to it. Clearly, you fucking know what's going on. You're not fucking stupid, right?
Yeah, no, but
so why feed them information?
Okay, I don't know the broader relationship that Future has with the Manor, right? I have a very, very good relationship with the Manor, personally. Now, the Twitter thing, the 500K thing, that is a petty personal grief that I have with Future, right? It's a part of a larger issue that we have, right? So me saying that isn't about like this is my guy, I gotta back him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't like business shit. This isn't gang shit. This guy being a moron in his own personal life. And I'm in the middle of doing a business deal with these people, and bro, these guys are ready to go and smoke Future. And the only reason they didn't smoke Future is because of the conversation I had with them.
And then you just tell them shit about Future? To give them more fuel to go at them? Like, I don't get it.
I see how this game plays. I don't fuck with Future. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing though. Like, yeah, obviously you don't fuck with Future and Future doesn't fuck with you, but it doesn't give you guys the excuse to go at each other publicly and involve other people. It doesn't matter if it's internal. It's when it goes out in public that's the problem. And I'm not saying that you're the problem here, Kevin. To be clear, I'm saying that you're both contributing to a problem. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Just to like take that point that you just made, right? Like, these guys literally had like a group therapy session with all the other sensitive gangbangers in the city in the middle of Little Seoul, where Future just stood around playing the victim for as many people who would stand there to listen to him. So this whole like, I don't know, this idea that this guy has done nothing wrong and doesn't deserve to be treated with the same level of energy that he's dishing out to other people.
Nobody's saying that.
No, I don't think anybody's saying that. If that's your impression, then
that is my impression. Okay, then I have definitely misunderstood.
Yeah, that's not at all. Like, this is not us like trying to press you on the issue. Like, that's not what's happening. Okay. I'm truly like trying my best to be neutral here, so don't get that impression. My kind of look on it is I don't expect everybody in the gang to respect each other fully. Like that's an unrealistic expectation, especially with how we are recruiting and stuff like that. There's people in the gang that I don't even like. Like that's just how it should be. And you know, poking each other back and forth is fine. I don't have an issue with that. But it's when it goes in public, like that's the only time it's a problem. And it doesn't matter if it's him doing it to you or you doing it to him, or if it's reciprocated. It just shouldn't happen. Like that's my take on it. But listen, I'm not saying this as like, oh, he did this to you, so you had no right in speaking back. Like, obviously,
that's what it comes across as.
In the first place.
That's absolutely what it comes across as.
Yeah, no, that's
Future
that's
does
not,
something
that's
to
not-
somebody, and then the person who responds gets reprimanded. That has been the history of everything that's happened.
But you also don't see the conversation that's being had with Future, right? Like you only see the conversation being had with you.
I see, yeah, that's true, but I also see zero consequences from how he chooses to behave with every other member of this gang. If his behavior hasn't changed in 6 months, right, and he's done the same thing over and over to different people, and we're not choosing to do something about it, then you're being complicit.
But what do you think should happen? You think Future should be kicked?
I think he should have actually been a hanger-on. Like, he should have been treated like a hanger-on. He shouldn't be on the panel in the fucking, on any of these buildings that he has access to shit. He should have made to fucking push weed on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should have had to run the route like any other hanger-on would have.
On that subject, I can't really comment because I wasn't around for this whole thing, so I don't know the specifics necessarily. I've been told, but it's like not. If I'm not there personally, it's very difficult for me to understand the context of the situation. So I can't comment on that.
I mean, the way I understood it is Future did something or whatever, and he got a cosmetic punishment. He was sad about it for 2 days. He didn't come around for a few more days after that, and that was the end of it. Rose back to being Future Hendrix that we all know.
Well, to be honest, after Future breaking my hangover, I didn't see him for a week, so.
Yeah, you put him in a fucking depressive cycle. But I'm gonna be honest, that's not really on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if bro can't get his fucking mental together, like, it shouldn't be our problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Kevin on this one. He's,
The silence.
But like I said, I wasn't around for that part of the conflict, so I can't really comment on it. But I mean, I think you're right. Like, there should be repercussions to your actions, if the actions are major enough to warrant a repercussion.
I mean, let me ask you, okay, right? Like, unbiased, just like, if one member of the gang is to shoot another member of the gang, what would be your like response?
I would fire them indefinitely. Like, they would never come back to the gang.
Okay, so when Future shot Poe, what was the consequence for it?
Well, Poe didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so.
Okay, but Poe's not the leader. Poe's not the leader. You're the leader.
No.
But that's how that works.
I was not made aware of it.
Okay, what? Wait, was Ming? Were you made aware of Future shooting Poe?
Yeah, I heard about it, but it was like later.
Yeah, for me, it
listen.
was
Let me tell you something, right? If somebody in this gang got shot and the guy came to me and is like, yo, this motherfucker just shot me, what is he fucking doing? It would be an actual problem, then we would deal with it that way, right? But Poe himself didn't want it to be a big problem. So it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that too, to be honest. Like, there's a difference in someone shooting someone and someone shooting someone, though. Like, there is different to context. Like, it's not as absolute, is it? Like, okay, for example, Kevin, let's say you and me are on the rooftop on the warehouse cleaning solar panels and fucking around, and I push you off, and you fall down on the street and break your bone, but you don't care about it. Should I be fired from the gang?
No.
But there's still like there's a context to the situation, no?
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, yeah, I agree with Forehead. Like, it's if someone did something in a malicious manner and there was a problem with it, then yes, it should be dealt with. But it depends on the context, no?
Okay, so if I use a lethal weapon, right, a force amplifier, and I point it at you, and then I press it or I pull the trigger, and then you get shot and injured, right? Regardless of whether or not it was joking, like I'm using an instrument that is specifically made to harm and kill people, right? Like, we're not having fun in that situation, and as far as I am aware, Poe was not having fun in that situation.
I hear what you're saying. Okay, number one, this is not the courtroom. You don't have to be doing this, but I hear what you're saying, but there is like And I agree, but like you know how things are. Though.
I do,
You know
I
what
do,
I'm
I do. I'm making the point to make the point, but I do like I do understand like the context that you're trying
Yeah.
to spell out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I would rather it wasn't like that, but it's like that. So that's really not really. It's not here or there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, but back to the broader topic. There's a pattern here, and there doesn't really seem to be any consequences pretty consistently. And listen, in my opinion, right, if you wanted my honest opinion on how to deal with Future, I don't think Forehead should ever be the person to discipline Future with anything that he ever does for the history of this gang, period. End of story. The relationship that you two have with each other is so tight and so, like, it's just different than the relationship that you have with any other member of the gang and any other member has with any other member. And I don't think that you have the ability to discipline Future in a way that he needs to be disciplined so that he can respect himself, the gang, and every member in it.
I mean, if you feel that way, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's my like 100% honest take on it.
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's very difficult sometimes because when I get made aware of something and I talk to both persons involved, both people have factual points in their own manner because it's easy to contort a story based on your own point of view, right?
100%.
So sometimes it's very difficult to act on things because it's not like you guys are wearing body cams, you know what I'm saying?
I mean that's why the
Maybe
pattern
that's
is
what we need
important.
to do. Maybe that's what we need to start doing. We have body cams for arguments, and then we do gang review on the body cams.
Yeah,
So we have
I'm down.
objective,
I'm down
evidence
100%.
in this.
I'm
And
100%
then we
down
do
for
gang
that.
court, and we can actually review what happened.
I would love to do that and to see some of the vile shit Future says in the moment and then pretends like he didn't say it 10 minutes later. I would love to
Yeah,
do
I
that.
mean, that would solve the problem, really.
That would
Then we can
solve
see objective.
everything.
The problem is, like, I'm not here, and you have to, like, I need you to understand what I'm saying here. Like, when you're telling me something about the private conversation that you two might have had, for example,
Yeah.
I can't know what the vibe of the conversation was, what was said.
I mean, it was an
what
argument.
said. All of these things matter. I know that. I know that. I'm not saying for this specifically. I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
So it becomes kind of difficult sometimes to be like, unless someone has pulled a gun and shot someone, it's kind of difficult to be, you know, it's not black or white type shit. I have banned Future from Twitter though. I put an adult code on his phone that only I know for Twitter. So I restricted his app access.
All right. I mean, listen. The problem with Future and Twitter, like it was like the Twitter thing is irrelevant in my opinion. The problem was like fanning the flame with like everyone else, like the manner, the Hydra thing. Like, but he didn't need Twitter to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Twitter was just a tool in that moment.
I mean, I think in general, when anybody from the gang brings in a public eye into a problem, then that's a problem. That should never be happening. Like, we are enough people to be having these conversations internally. We should never like be talking to other people about our issues. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree with that, more or less.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I understand your point of view. I think, Kevin, like, if you get pressured enough, you feel the need to kind of, and especially if you don't see repercussion for the person pressuring you, you feel the need to do something yourself. I get that.
Listen, the way I am these days is I'm gonna take shit from nobody, especially the people that I do not respect, and even the people that I do respect. I'm not gonna get pushed around. You know what I'm saying? And Future Hendrix is just pretty low on that list of people that I like. He's just low on the list.
Okay. But at the end of the day, you guys are in the same gang, so there is a level of expectation. You guys don't have to be friends, but there is a level of expectation of cooperation to some extent. Like, you understand that too, right?
Is he not a hanger-on anymore?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter if he's a hang-around, if he's not a hang-around, he's still fucking a part of the gang. You can't be like, listen, if you want to talk about a fucking hang-around like Mike and you started airing out his business to Mana, it'll be the same fucking problem. I don't care if they're hang-around, if they're not hang-around, they're part of our crew.
There's just no reason to do it, no?
Unprovoked, absolutely, I agree.
But
listen,
okay,
to me,
wait.
to me,
But so you're saying that like if Mike provokes me, it's reasonable for me to like
Mike doesn't
carry
have
out
like a
some
pattern.
poker.
No, Mike. There's no pattern with Mike. Like I think Future is the exception to this. I think you are right,
okay,
100% for everybody but
Kevin,
Future.
it doesn't matter how much you're provoked. You deal with that problem internally within the gang. You never go to the fucking another crew, especially a crew you have beef with,
No,
and
no,
start airing out your gang members' business. That's just fucking stupid.
I didn't go to anybody. They were in my parking lot.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Listen, you just fucking talk about specifics here. Doesn't matter if they're in your parking or in your house. It don't matter where the fuck they were.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, Kevin. You're intelligent enough to be the bigger man, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hear you, and I hear you, especially on the repercussion shit. Like, yeah, I want you to get the wrong idea. It's not like we're coming here pressing you on the issue. It's like I said, like when you're only seeing your point of view of the conversation being had, it's easy to feel like that, but that's not what's happening. So,
Okay. I mean, so let me ask you: have there been any other consequences for Future, or is it just the Twitter thing?
based on what? Based on
the
but
pattern.
We said that based on this shit, we said that we needed to talk to you. We need to get both sides on the conversation.
Okay.
We just talked to him.
Okay. I got you. So then there'll be like a later conversation to discuss the border issues, most likely.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good to me.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say on the subject, or?
Do you have any more questions? Anything that needs clarification?
For me, not really. I think I have a pretty clear view of the situation.
All right.
It's just I really just wish that that people in the same crew wouldn't mess with each other externally. Like that's really my only ask. But
I mean, listen, Future also went around calling like fucking RJ and Limor and all these guys kittens to anybody who'd listen to him. So
yeah, but that's different, though. Like that.
Well,
I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like I'm literally calling him a kitten by buying this house. I'm using the actual like
Listen, well, since you're being fair to everybody in the gang, Kevin, we have to take your phone and delete Twitter.
You have to delete Twitter.
Yep,
No,
Future
we
shit got deleted.
don't have to delete it. We put a lock on it temporarily.
Wait, why?
That's what
Because
Future got.
you've been going out on the timeline. It's the same shit.
I mean, all right, but this is the false equivalence with me and Future. Like what I'm doing and what Future's doing, in my opinion, is different. But if we get the same punishment, then it's speaking to the same pattern. You know what I'm saying?
It's not the same punishment though. Like I told you, we were gonna talk internally and then see what we're gonna do. This is the bare minimum for both.
Okay.
You guys both contributed to this part of the issue, no?
I mean, I was provoked and I responded. So for me to get the
Kevin,
same,
like
yeah.
Kevin, like my point is, you shouldn't have done that. Like you should have just come to me. It's just I don't understand that part.
I mean, I've already explained the context, right? Like I feel like if we go to forehead, nothing is gonna happen, and then like we've already hashed this out. This part of it.
Yeah, which
So
is why I don't
I'm
understand why you're bringing it up.
I mean, so then I'm left to deal with Future however I have to deal with Future. And all I have is my words. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go and fucking wait for this guy with the gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me. I have no intention of ever doing that.
Wait, you have no intention of doing what?
Anything to Future. Physically or whatever. Like, that's just not the energy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that. I get that. No one's kind of like putting that on you, though.
Okay.
I just don't really like. Okay, so Future went on you, so you went out, lashed out, and then he lashed out again. And you think that Future is in the wrong because he started it, basically.
Future has a pattern of doing something over and over to as many people.
Yeah. No, I understand what kind of person Future is. Trust me. I'm just saying, like, in this contained circumstance, that's what you think.
Sorry, repeat what you just said.
What happened here is that Future lashed out, you felt the need to respond, so you lashed out, and then he lashed out again, no?
Listen, I retweeted a SpongeBob picture, and bro came to my fucking spot screaming. That's what happens. Like if SpongeBob and the context behind that gets all thrown on me because he wants to be sensitive about it, like I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah, I just don't know why you guys just can't just not taunt each other. Like I don't understand that part. That I don't understand. Like why can't you guys both just not do that? That's the only part of this that I don't really understand personally. And I get that like he has a pattern of doing this and that and all that stuff. But like I said, there's people in the gang that I don't even like, but it's just, you know, deal with it. Like that's just how it be sometimes.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I just feel like this, Kevin, like if Future would have done something to you and you come to me and I find out that it's just one-sided, like that you haven't reciprocated it, he's just being an asshole, then I would deal with it.
All right.
But from my perspective, that hasn't happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's a bunch of little things with Future that builds up, and then eventually people respond to it, and then the response is always disproportional to the most recent grievance, so it looks fucking psychotic practically.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, fair.
I mean, this is his
But then
history
how-
with every member that he's ever had a problem with in any gang that he's ever been. So,
Okay, but yeah, I mean, that's fair. But then how do you solve a problem like that when it's compound?
I mean, you either need a very, very strong presence to have dominion and power over him, or you get him the fuck out. Those are the two options.
Okay. Here, you'll do it for. It's just like it's very difficult. It's very very difficult. It's not. I don't think it's as easy as it is in your mind because you're on one side of the problem, right? Like to be entirely neutral and biased is not as easy as you make it out to be.
From my perspective, right, I've seen this happen
For
so
your
many
perspective,
times.
of course, it's different.
Yeah. I mean, if you like, okay, let's forget about this situation. I've seen the same issue happen over and over. That would just be the response. Like that would just be you can change Future out with another person if the behavior was the same over and over. Like, and it doesn't get dealt with. It's just gonna get worse and worse, and you're gonna create you're gonna create more bad blood amongst everybody, and then it's just gonna be a bunch of people fighting with each other, which it is, right? The focus just shifts from like week to week depending on who the most recent like target is.
I don't. The thing is, like for me personally, and I'm only speaking from my point of view. I haven't been around for all of these things that I went down. I haven't seen anything where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is relevant for someone to be kicked from the gang permanently. Like that I haven't seen anything like that.
I mean, it's a build-up, right? Like, I don't think Future specifically. I don't think Future's stupid enough to do anything that would just be like, we gotta kick this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Future's the type of guy in the middle of the night to sneak out and stand on fucking Hydra block. You know what I'm saying? Look, I've lived that life. I've seen it happen. Future would never leave the gang or do anything directly to warrant you guys kicking him out.
Well, yeah, I don't know though. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it.
You have any more questions? Anything else that needs clarification?
No, I'll call you if I come over from.
All right. Ming?
Nah, I think you're both just dumb as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, fantastic.
There you go, Kevin. There's your phone back.
All right, so when am I going to be able to use Twitter again? When am I getting this password?
When we have a conversation again, probably we'll see. but within 1 or 2 days.
All right.